If you have spent any time around Boston Harbor during the last 2+ decades, you have no doubt seen the distinctive maroon sails of the Roseway schooner.
Let's talk about the Roseway right now, the home port. Where else? Right here in Boston.
The 100-year-old vessel spent most of the last 25 years in service for the Boston-based World Ocean School, an organization committed to teaching through sailing.
So World Ocean School was founded in 2002 with the idea of getting kids on the water and all of the unique sort of leadership, teamwork, self-worth, skills that come out of sailing a tall ship.
More than 20,000 students have been on board, either in Boston or at the ship's winter port in St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Fifth graders to college students from a variety of circumstances. Captain Jill Hughes is World Ocean School Executive Director.
Many of them come from under-resourced communities, but we really believe that sail training benefits everyone and has something to gain from it. I always like to say as a captain that the sea is a great equalizer. It sort of doesn't matter your background, whether or not you're going to get seasick or when you're doing chores or the needs of the boat. So I think it's really great for everyone.
Great for everyone, but over the years, hard on the ship. Roseway was built in Essex, Massachusetts in 1925 as a fishing schooner. In 1941, she became a Boston Harbor pilot boat, but in December of that year, Pearl Harbor was attacked, and she was pressed into service for the Coast Guard. After the war, she returned to pilot in Boston for 32 years, retiring in 1973. She was then repurposed as a main windjammer before being donated to the World Ocean School. Time, wind, toil, and tide have taken their toll. Today, she sits idle at the Mystic Seaport, her future uncertain. Repairs to her failing wooden infrastructure could cost as much as $10 million. And so,
we've come to the realization that we think Roseway would be best served in someone else's hands. If someone was interested in using her a little bit differently, keeping it in a harbor or dockside or a museum piece or something like that, I think it's less onerous. There's not necessarily a thriving market for 100-year-old, 136-foot-long schooners.
Fortunately, the school's programming continues. As Roseway was heading to Mystic, World Ocean acquired the Dennis Sullivan, a Great Lakes schooner very similar to Roseway, but 75 years younger, and already teaching the next generation about life at sea and about life.
We have this phrase that I actually really like, which is type 2 fun. There's like fun, I'm gonna go to the Caribbean, I'm gonna go snorkeling, I'm gonna go swimming off the boat, I'm gonna be with all my friends. And then there's type 2 fun, which is I gotta get up at 2 a.m. to do anchor watch to make sure that the ship is safe and my peers and the crew are safe, or I gotta help with dinner dishes. I think learning or moving through those experiences really makes the students realize that they can push through things later in life and that they have more confidence or more skills than they maybe thought they did going into it.
Sail Boston will be a showcase for the Dennis Sullivan, a home port vessel in the host harbor. Roseway will sit this one out in Mystic, waiting and hoping for her next voyage.
The best case scenario is that she sails again, but if not that, then have her remain in Boston in some capacity. She was a pilot schooner here for a long time, the last active sailing pilot schooner in the entire country. And so she's got such good, authentic Boston ties that even if she became a museum piece or a dockside thing here in Boston, I think that would be really great.
So why the red sails on the Roseway? Well, the color is actually called tan bark, a dye made from tree bark, and it's believed somewhere in her many lives someone thought it would help the vessel stand out, which it does. As for the Dennis Sullivan, she will be docked near the federal courthouse during Sail Boston and open to the public free of charge for tours and to learn more about World Ocean School.